Your question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir.
Rampant misinformation.
The spread of misinformation.
You share misinformation.
According to a survey, 90% of Canadians have fallen for false information. What's worse is that all this misinformation gets translated into real-life problems. So that begs the question, why is there so much misinformation online? And how did we get here? Introducing Likes and Lies, a party board game that mimics the struggle for attention on social media and the influence of spreading false information on society. Players start as new social media users who create and like posts. They have the ability to share misinformation in order to gain fame. Learn about the temptations and power behind the disinformation industry through a fun and engaging gameplay experience. Try not to get caught while making your way to the finish line to be viral. The goal of the game is to be the first to reach the viral space on the board. At the beginning of the game, all player pawns start on a new user's space on the board. Each player has 15 intent cards, 8 that are true information and 7 that are misinformation, as well as 5 content cards in their hand. They will maintain this number of content cards by drawing a new one every time they put one down. Each round starts by drawing a caption card. Players choose a content card from their hand to post with a caption, as well as an intent card that they keep to themselves. This dictates whether their post contains true or misinformation. After all posts have been made, everyone will like their favorite using their like token, and each player adds the number of likes they received to their counter. If a player reaches at least 10 likes on their counter, they must exchange 10 likes for 1 step forward. The player who received the most number of likes during the vote becomes the influencer of that round and moves forward on the board. The influencer has the power to report another player's post and reveal that player's intent card. If the reported intent card is found to be misinformation, the player who posted it moves back. If it is true information, the influencer moves back instead. Players who posted true information move forward 1 step. And players who got away with posting misinformation without being reported move forward by 2 steps. Some of the spaces on the board trigger events. If a player lands on one of these spaces, they will draw an event card which describes an effect or action and the condition required for the card to be put in effect. Most events depend on the intent the player posted that round and result in moving on the board. The game ends when the first player reaches the final space on the board and goes viral. For our player experience goals, we wanted the game to feel social and engaging, to create a realistic Magic Circle experience that simulates how social media works, which is highly interactive and engaging. To achieve this, we incorporated people fun aspects such as the mechanics of sharing, liking, and reporting posts. We also wanted players to feel a sense of risk when making decisions, as anything you do on social media could cause unexpected effects. The impacts of an action may not always be obvious or immediate, and we wanted to reflect that in the game. In Likes and Lies, using a misinformation card comes with the benefit of being able to move farther forward, but also comes with the risk of needing to move back if you are reported or trigger a negative event. Finally, we want the players to feel the satisfaction of gaining attention and becoming a popular influencer. This can be found when a player wins the vote in the liking stage of the round and becomes the influencer. They will feel satisfaction from both the fact that other players enjoyed their post and that they get to move forward the farthest. Throughout the game design process, we playtested our game with several groups of people to ensure that they were experiencing the game in the way that we want them to. For our first iteration, we created a card game that quickly became repetitive and too long after 15 rounds and lacked a lot of the transformative elements that we desired. To rectify this, we added a board, chance spaces, and event cards that tie into real-life scenarios for the second iteration, but it was still too long. For our third iteration, we rebranded the cards, shortened the board, and incorporated feedback to let people who post true information move forward and keep track of their likes. This way, everyone moves at least once per round, and players can use this as part of their strategy when playing the game. Through further playtesting, we received feedback that our game didn't do much to integrate the idea of misinformation. To start to rectify this, we altered the game to include certain event cards that affect everyone in the game, and not just the person who drew it. And to simulate trending topics, content cards and intent cards can be paired to gain more steps on the board. We could assign a unique character to each player, which will help develop the storyline and their motivations for spreading misinformation. Each character will have specific roles and privileges that align with their intentions. This is only the start of the changes in the feature that we have in store for the game.
So, are you ready to go viral?